Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5 best smart turbo trainers. Starting at number 5. Tacx Neo 2T. Looking a bit more like a spaceship than a trainer, the Tacx Neo 2T uses a unique electromagnetic drive unit that allows it to simulate up to a 125 kg flywheel for a leg-breaking 200 W of max resistance and a max incline of 25%. The metal flywheel is complete with magnetic-powered electronic coils, meaning the more you pedal, the higher the magnet resistance. The Neo 2T comes with a power cord and gains a bit of inertia for a more realistic feeling spin down. To make the whole riding experience even more realistic, the trainer can simulate riding over different surfaces like gravel, cobblestones, and wood planks. Plus it folds up, so if your pain cave doubles as a spare bedroom, the Neo 2T can be easily tucked away in the closet. Coming at number 4. Elite DIRETO XRT Smart. The DIRETO XRT comes shipped in its packed-away state, so setting it up straight out of the box is much the same as setting it up for a turbo session. Simply spread out the legs and hand tighten the screws to lock them in place. It takes about 20 seconds at most. With a relatively narrow profile once the legs are folded away, finding a home for it between sessions isn't much of a challenge. Although being a little taller and longer than the other turbos on test does make it a touch more imposing. But with that said, the wide platform means that it never felt unstable at all, even if you can end up making it a reasonable way across the room. In terms of the turbo's resistance when winding up a sprint, there's a nice, even sensation to it, reducing the number of gear shifts you need to make compared to other trainers such as the Tacx Neo 2T in particular. The main benefit is to save wear on your drivetrain and allow you to focus on the effort, more than coordinating shifts. At number 3. SARIS H3. The SARIS H3 is the most pared back of all the trainers on test. In terms of extras, there's no option for a riser unit to lift the front wheel. There's no inbuilt rocking function to simulate the sway of a bike or any other novelties to add to the indoor riding experience. Instead, the H3 is all about delivering a solid platform for hard efforts, which could very well be all you're after. There's little point in paying extra for features you're not going to benefit from, and the H3 does undercut the WAHOO KICKR and Tacx Neo 2T on price. Like the Elite DIRETO XRT, the resistance curve when sprinting also has a good feel to it, not requiring an excessive number of shifts as you wind up the watts. Packing the turbo away, the legs fold elegantly into the body, leaving a width comparable to the Elite DIRETO XRT, but having a significantly shorter footprint and standing a little lower. The carry handle is in essentially the same position as the DIRETO XRT, which means carrying it around is equally more cumbersome than the KICKR. Number 2 of my list. Tacx Neo 2 Smart Turbo. Being the most expensive trainer on test, naturally it's also the one which offers the most in terms of added features. Equally, in charging such a premium, Tacx has set a very high bar for itself that it now has to clear. Just relating to its packability, the Neo 2T isn't as user-friendly as the other turbo trainers. Folding the legs up rather than just sliding them together presents a bit more of a faff. While the lack of a single carry handle means that the turbo requires a full 2 hands to port it around. WAHOO has attempted something similar with its new feet for the KICKR, but the result is much less noticeable. Finally, the Neo 2T's electromagnetic flywheel really nails the feeling of sprinting out on the road. You get that feeling of massive torque as you first stamp on the pedals and get the gear turning, with that resistance quickly easing off as you spin up to speed requiring fast, repeated shifts down the cassette to match that speed. And number 1. WAHOO KICKR Smart. The WAHOO KICKR has been around for a while now, with updates to the trainer generally being more incremental than transformative. But considering the performance of each version, that's no bad thing. For the V5, WAHOO has added feet to reduce vibrations from the trainer and to add a little sway, as well as increasing the claimed accuracy from a ±2% to a ±1% and removing the requirement to manually calibrate the trainer. With a horizontally oriented carry handle, the KICKR is by far the easiest trainer of the grip disc to transport a Euro, even for its hefty weight. When it comes to packing away, the legs snap easily together and the height of the axle can be lowered to result in a really quite low-profile package. The KICKR still feels more solid than the Tacx Neo 2T, but less so than the SARIS H3. The distance of movement is pretty much the same as the Elite DIRETO XRT, but the Elite feels like more of a shuffle than a rock. In terms of the resistance for sprinting, there is a bit more of a flywheel spin-up than on the SARIS and the Elite, but not mimicking a Euro road feel quite as much as the Tacx. It's a halfway house that works pretty well for both ends and doesn't result in an annoying number of shifts. The erg mode feels very refined, just like the Tacx, with a satisfying feeling of souplesse and a proportionate responsiveness to changes in cadence a Euro. It wouldn't overcompensate when you drop a few RPM. Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.